Welcome back to No Bias Hoops. Today we're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and why they are 12-0 right now. So I'm looking at the stats of all their players and trying to see what's different this year from last year and why they're so much better. So Donovan Mitchell is the obvious best player on the team, but he's actually having one of his worst career years other than shooting. He's shooting 41% from three. And I'm not saying it's a bad career year, but he is only averaging 23 points per game, and he hasn't been that low since his second year with the Jazz. So he is shooting really well, and he's also playing less minutes than usual. But I don't think Donovan Mitchell really changed much that would help this team be 12-0 right now. So obviously he's part of the reason, but I don't think that's particularly why. Evan Mobley, he's definitely gotten better. Right now he's at 18 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks, which is up from his 15 points per game. But his rebounds went down, so I really don't think it's him either. His defense has been definitely noticeable this year. Darius Garland's having a good year, a bounce back. Some people wanted him traded, and he's been kind of injured and hasn't really been great for the Cavs since his All-Star season. But this year, back up to like 7 assists, 20 points on great shooting, so Garland definitely is part of the reason. LeVert, 12 points per game, nothing crazy. Jarrett Allen, 13 points, 10 rebounds, but it's actually also one of his worst years. He hasn't had averages this low since the Nets, but obviously it's not bad to average 13 points, 10 rebounds, and a steal, but I don't think that's great. That can't be the reason why they're so much better. Ty Jerome has been really good. Last year, he only averaged 2 points per game, played 2 games. He just really hasn't found an NBA home. But right now, 10 points per game, 54.2% from 3. He's actually shooting a couple. And 4 assists per game with steals. He's definitely making his presence known. But again, it can't be solely the reason why. Sam Merrill has had a couple good games, shooting it okay. And then Isaac Okoro, kind of the same thing as Sam Merrill, nothing crazy. And those are their main guys. They have some other players like Max Strus, but he's been injured. Ultimately, I don't think they're deep enough to continue it because they have their big four, and if one of those guys gets injured, they don't have much of a replacement. However, they are 12-0. I don't want to go against them, and I'm not trying to hate on them. Their wins aren't that impressive to me. Like, they have a win against the Warriors by a lot. That's pretty impressive, but I believe it was without Curry. And they had a win against the Lakers, who were 4-0 at the time, but again, nothing crazy. 2 nail-biters versus the Bucks, and then a bunch of just bad teams. They only beat the Nets by 5, the Bulls by 6, and this team is good. They beat the Knicks. But ultimately, I don't think they can keep going. Their coach is Kenny Atkinson now, and Shaq said that he hasn't done anything, but that's just clearly not true. I think he is the reason. There's a new offense. The players probably trust him more, and he's probably just bringing the team more together. There's lots of players on this team averaging double digits, and I think that's different from last year where they really only had Donovan Mitchell. Evan Mobley wasn't as good as he is right now. Darius Garland just wasn't there last year. Only played 57 games, 18 points per game. Just not that great. And then you have Jarrett Allen, who maybe he would get traded. But the Cavs stayed where they are. Donovan Mitchell seems happy, which is great. And ultimately, I think that's why the Cavs are winning. They're playing as a team. They do have a little bit of an easier schedule, but it's okay. They have still beat the Warriors, who are really good, even if it is without Steph Curry. So we'll see what Kenny Atkinson and Donovan Mitchell can do if this team can stay undefeated for even longer, and if they can make some noise in the playoffs. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Check out my channel, and see you next time on No Bias Hoops.